Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Guess what showed up on my doorstep this morning? My Sephora order. We're gonna jump into this thing today, test out all these makeup products. Technically this box is empty. We already tried it out. This is the look that we're gonna be creating today and I cannot wait to show these things to you guys. Got a lot of blushes here, new foundation, new eyeshadow palette. I even ended up picking up a bronzer stick that I did not mention in my wish list video. We are gonna get into it all together, but before we get into the makeup, if you are a new visitor here, I wanna give you a special welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Please consider subscribing and make sure that your notifications are turned on. With that said, let's jump right into it. All right, you guys, before we actually apply the makeup, I'm just gonna walk you guys through what I actually picked up. So first off, I picked up the High Glam foundation. I got the shade YN6. I am crossing my fingers that this is at least close. I also ended up picking up the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. This is basically their cream bronzer. I didn't mention this in my wish list video. I'm not quite sure how it ended up coming home with me. I've had my eye on this for several years. It's been out for quite a while now, but I'm slowly trying to try out a few more cream bronzer sticks to figure out which one I like the very best because I just love a cream bronzer so much, especially when it's in stick form. So we'll try that one out today. I did pick up the Spice palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills that I'm excited to try. Got the Tarte Maracuja set. So this has 5 different lip plumpers or lip variety of lip products. A few of these I think I'm going to save for gifts. We'll decide on one though and try it out today. I did pick up the Sephora Blush. This one's in the shade Dill Closer. So this one, I'm going to actually show you guys this one right now because I'm going to be trying out one of the Kosas blushes that I picked up in the gift set. So this was the Baritone shade. So pretty. I will insert a close-up of this for you guys right here. Along with, I'll swatch these on my hand or on my arm so you can kind of see how these shades look swatched. They look a little bit dark. I hope I can get them to work for me. Let me just swatch this one right now. Oh, I love this formula. This cream formula is so nice. Okay, this one is pretty pigmented. I imagine I'm going to need a very light hand with this, but it's so buttery that it's easy to blend out. I think I can definitely get that to blend out to work for my skin tone. Maybe just be a little more light-handed if you are a little bit more fair. But I can't wait to try out one of these Kosas marbled blushes. We will take a look at these. I'm gonna have to pick one because I think I'll at least save 1 or 2 of these for a gift. Kind of wait till we get there. The packaging of these looks so adorable. I love the Kosas packaging. I think their packaging is always so cute. And then last but not least, I did get a skincare item. This is from the Sephora brand. This is a niacinamide and lactic acid serum. I think it was like $5. It was discounted and then I got the additional percentage off. So I decided why not just throw it into my cart. Before we get to the foundation, which we will be trying out first, I do just want to add a little bit of a very basic primer. I'm going to take my Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer just for a little bit of hydration. This primer works good under every foundation that I've ever tried. So I imagine it will work just fine under this one. It gives me just a little bit of hydration, adds a little bit of tack to my skin, which I actually like. All right, let's have a look at this Natasha Denona High Glam foundation. How many of you guys have tried out this one? Let me know if you liked it. I've heard some good things, but honestly, I feel like I hear good things about every foundation. Love the packaging. I love this kind of frosted glass bottle. The lid's a little hard to pull off. There's the pump, very pretty. Let's give this a little pump and cross our fingers. I'm a little nervous this one's gonna be a little bit dark, but some of the undertones between this neutral one and the shade below it, the shade below it looked kind of light and I would rather go a little too dark than too light. This looks perfect. That looks absolutely perfect. Good job, yay. Let's apply this one with a foundation brush today. I'm gonna take my Ultimate Blending Brush from e.l.f. We're gonna do 1 pump on the back of my hand. It's kind of a smaller amount for 1 pump. We'll start small and kind of build up if we need to. Starting here on the tops of my cheeks, and then we'll kind of spread this out as we go. Let's just read a little bit about this. I don't have contacts in, see if I can read this without my glasses on. It says it's a radiant foundation for all skin types. It says it has Japanese amino acid biomimetic pigments. Whatever that is. It does say it was formulated by Natasha with the world's leading Korean and Italian labs. You know I love Korean makeup and skincare, so another little thing that makes me hopeful. It's going on really nice. I would say so far, I think good medium coverage, but again, that was not a lot. I think a pump and a half would probably be like a more standard amount. I definitely will need more than just 1 pump, but even for like every day, I would be perfectly fine with this level of coverage. I really like it so far. Shade match looks amazing. I love when that happens. It makes such a big difference when you get the shade just right. I know I've said this a few times more recently, but the older I get, the more I realize getting your shade of foundation right, to me personally, is even more important than getting the formulation right. If I'm using a foundation whose formula I would normally love, but I get the shade match wrong, it's not going to look good on me, even if I like the formula. So you got to get the shade match right for it to look right, no matter what formulation it is. Building up really nicely. I feel like I'm getting really good coverage on some of my deeper pigment marks over here. It's very pretty looking. It's definitely a softly luminous looking foundation, but it feels nice. It doesn't feel greasy so far. I'm curious to see how this will sit and set down as we let it sit there for a minute. On the skin, to me, it's looking a little bit like the Maybelline skin tint, which I absolutely love. That one does have some pearl in the actual foundation. I don't think this one does. I mean, I'm not seeing the actual pearlescence to it, but as far as like the coverage and the hint of a glow that I'm getting, it reminds me a little bit of that. And I would say the consistency of this one is very similar to that one. So it's somewhere between a really thick cream and something more serum-like. It's kind of in between. All right, I am thrilled with this so far. Let's add a little bit of concealer before we get to the other face products. I'm just gonna take a little bit of my Double Wear from Estee Lauder. I'm gonna apply this a little bit under my eye, just right here, and then on my eyelid. And then I'm actually gonna use my Kosas concealer. This thing's a couple years old. Most people probably throw their concealers away when they get this old. I am going to try to use mine up all the way. It smells fine. Oh, this is a great concealer also. I've got a couple high-end concealers that are just about done that I feel like I need to pick which one I really want to repurchase, because I don't like buying them all at once, that's for sure. Honestly, it's been a little while since I've reached for my Kosas concealer, which a year or two ago was one of my absolute favorites. I still like it, I just don't feel like I've been using it as much recently. I'm not gonna powder this one other than just my eyelids and maybe in between my eyebrows where I have some pretty pronounced lines. Everywhere else, I'm gonna let it just kind of be bare and see how it sets down, see how other makeup goes on top of it. Okay, let's test out this Makeup by Mario bronzer stick. So I went with the light medium shade. So first thing that I want to mention, this thing looks huge and substantial. It feels very large, very big and sturdy. When I was looking at how much product is in this, it's not pitiful, but it has 10.5 grams. My Merit bronzer stick, which look how much smaller this one looks, it feels lighter. This one has 12.5 grams, so it has a little bit more. So just something to be aware of and keep in mind. Let's give this a little swatch on the back of my hand. And I actually want to swatch this. Ooh, that's very cool toned. I hope it's not too cool for me. I'm kind of very picky with my bronzer shades. I don't like them to be too cool. Definitely a way different shade than the Merit. It's much darker. Maybe I picked the wrong one. The good thing about that, assuming that it works, is I won't need to use quite as much product. But the hard thing about that is it's possible it might be, you have to be a little more careful when you get the shade a little bit too dark. And sometimes I think cream products are a little bit difficult to be light-handed and careful with, but we're gonna do our best. So I'm gonna take my Sydney Grace, this is a foundation brush. We're just gonna tap a little bit of this onto the brush, work it into the back of my hand. Actually, let me wipe that other swatch off. All right, we're gonna work that into the back of the hand and start building. Interesting. It's definitely not quite as like buttery of a formula. It's more of a, almost like a soft matte cream. Definitely a different formula than the Merit, even my Persona one. It's more of a, I don't want to call it matte. It's not a matte formula, but it just has a softer finish to it. Kind of reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury Sunkissed bronzer, which also has kind of like a semi-matte finish. This has a very similar finish to that one. It's really pretty. I was worried it would be too dark. It definitely is not too dark. It's a little cooler than what I got from the Merit Clay. By the way, I have Clay in the Merit Cream Bronzer. This one definitely has a cooler shift to it. Actually, even the color kind of reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury Sunkissed Bronzer in Fair. There we are. That is beautiful. It's very different. The formula is different than the Merit one. The color is a little bit different, but I really like it so far. I'm gonna need a little more time with it. I can't make any final comparisons or decisions right now, but I'm so far so good. Let's jump over to these blushes. I'm so excited to try these out. Packaging looks cute. I love a good powdered marble blush. They always look amazing on the cheeks, it seems. So the 3 shades are Spellbound, which I think is a new shade, and it's supposed to be a cool, soft burgundy. Ooh, that's pretty. So I'm actually going to swatch these. I know I said these are going to be gifts, and they probably are, but they'll likely be gifts for people that won't mind if I swatched them. Okay, yeah, this one is definitely more of an intense shade, but not, I mean, that's a soft formula. If you went in with a light hand or kind of brushed the excess off on the back of your hand, for my fair skin friends out there, I'm sure you can get this to work for you as you kind of blend that out. It's much softer than it appears in the pan. Looks a little intimidating in the pan, but very, very pretty formula. This one is the shade Dare, which is also a new shade. It's supposed to be a warm peachy rose shade. Let's give this one a swatch right next to the one. There it is right there. Similar, just a little bit more of a orangey kind of coral shift to it. Very pretty. And then the last one is a permanent shade from them. This is the shade Euphoria. Ooh, that looks pretty. So there's Euphoria right there. Very pretty. So now I guess I have to decide. I want to keep them all, but I can't. So I need to pick 2. Like if I was really to pick 2 that I wanted to keep, I probably would pick these 2. But then a part of me worries this one's a little bit, for the people I'm possibly thinking of gifting these for, that shade might be just a little bit intimidating. Okay, I'm not gonna decide right now. For today, I think I'm gonna use the OG Euphoria shade. I know for sure I wanna keep that one because I just love that cool kind of soft mauve pink. I'm gonna take my blush brush right here. This is from Real Techniques. Just gonna slightly tap that, get a little bit on my brush, and then slowly tap that on my cheeks. For those of you that have tried a few of these blushes out, let me know what shade you most recommend. They definitely build up kind of slowly, so that actually makes me a little bit more hopeful even for that bright shade that I thought looked a little intimidating. Those are nice. That's so pretty. It doesn't look shiny on the cheeks at all, so those of you that have a lot of texture hair, maybe you worry about marble blushes that have too much sheen in them. I feel like these are a little bit more large pore friendly, maybe. Let's add a little bit of highlighter. I don't have anything new here with me. Let's just throw something on that I have sitting on my desk. This is my Melt Cosmetics highlighter. I don't even know if you can buy this anymore. I think the last time I looked and linked this, I saw it on Nordstrom, the Nordstrom website, but that was the last place that I could find this. By the way, this is the Digital Dust Highlighter in Stargazer. Okay, let's throw something in my brows. I'm just gonna take my Benefit Precisely My Brow, do a quick fill in. I'm gonna set those down with my Refi Brow Gel in medium brown, which is really more of like a semi-tinted brow gel. Okay, my brows look so dark today. I've never done that brow combination before. It was a little much. Let's just go real smoky on the eyes, and maybe that will balance out my very crazy dark brows today. We're gonna try out the Anastasia Beverly Hills Mini Spice palette. I decided to go with this one rather than getting an expensive large palette. I thought about getting the Patrick Ta one, the berry tone one that's been on my wish list forever. They also have the Patrick Ta All Matte palette that looks really nice. I do love the Patrick Ta matte formula, but I also remember how much I love shimmer, so it just doesn't really make sense for me to be collecting all matte palettes when I love a good shimmer. And I do really love Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow formula, and it's one that I don't feel like I've been buying from very much over the last several years. So here it is right here. I will insert a close-up for you guys of the palette, of the swatches. It looks beautiful. So let's just jump right in with this one. I'm going to take my BK Beauty A503 brush first. Let's start with this shade in this top corner. This looks to be like a matte sort of nude peachy pink. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, that's beautiful. Let's add a little bit of this shade right here, which is a warmer tan, a little bit deeper than what we started with, and it does have some pink sparkle in it. We're going to use a smaller brush. Let's go with my Sigma E25. Just going to run this across the outer third of my lid. I'm going to run a little bit on the lower lash line as well. So far, so good. This is looking so pretty. All right, I want to go with the deepest shade in here. Same brush, we're just going to take it right on the tip. Kind of same thing I just did, just a little bit closer to the lash line. Circle that up into my crease a little bit. All right, let's throw on some shimmer. We're going to start with this one. Put that on the center of the lid. Very sparkly. These shimmers look very multi-dimensional, very glittery and sparkly. Not really your traditional kind of soft metallic. So if you don't like a little bit of glitter in your shimmer, probably not going to like any of these, but they look very pretty. I don't mind glitter on my eyes. Okay, eyes are finished. I'm going to throw on just a little bit of my Wet n Wild liner here. Then I'll throw on a couple coats of my Persona mascara, then I'll be right back. All right, there is the finished eye look. Isn't it beautiful? So beautiful. In fact, I forgot my eyebrows look extremely dark and crazy. Now we're gonna move on to the lips. So for the lips today, I picked up the Tarte Kindness Cafe. I think that's what it's called. Basically, it's the 5 set of the Tarte Maracuja lip plumps. One of them's a melt mask, one of them's an oil, and then I think 3 are the lip plumps. I don't know that I'm gonna swatch them all because I do want to save one of these to gift to a friend who I don't think would appreciate me swatching it or trying it on. So in this set, you get a melt mask in the shade S'mores. You also get a juicy lip in the shade Coconut Cream Pie. Okay, I really want to smell every one of these. They sound like they are going to smell amazing. Then we get 2 of their traditional lip plumps. This one is in the shade Strawberry Shortcake. And then we have the shade Apple Crisp. And then we have a plumping lip oil in the shade Sugar Cookie. This one has some shimmer in it. This looks so pretty. I kind of think I want to keep this for myself. So let's decide which. I want to keep 3 of these for now. And then 2 of them I want to save for some gifts. Let's take my glasses off now. So, okay, I'm going to open the lids. I'm not going to swatch them, but let's just have a look. So this is the Strawberry Shortcake one. Looks a little bit deeper, but I imagine these are kind of on the sheer side. Let's see, that was a lip plump, and then we have the Apple Crisp lip plump. This is the Juicy Lip in the Coconut Cream Pie. Honestly, this is the one I want to keep the most for myself. Let's have a look at the S'mores one. Okay, oh, this is one of those ones that has like the doe foot sort of thing. So I definitely want to keep the Sugar Cookie one. This one has a sponge tip sort of soft applicator. Normally those things annoy me, but usually only in like concealers or bronzers. I think for a lip product, I'll be fine with it. Okay, I'm gonna gift the Melt Mask. That's the one that has the other kind of doe foot. Okay, I'm also gonna save the Strawberry Shortcake Lip Plump for a gift. So I'm not gonna dip into these 2. The other 3 we can swatch together. So let's start with this one, which is the Apple Pie or Apple Crisp. Give this one a little swatch on the back of my hand. Okay, these are definitely quite sheer. Looks like this one has a little bit of a shimmer in it. You see that kind of like coppery shimmer in it? Very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna actually just throw this on my lips. We'll try them out on my lips. It smells like Apple Crisp, but it tastes like mint. This is really a strange sensation. It does have a little bit of like a frosty shimmer in it. Do you guys see that right there? It's not bad though. It's not over the top to where I would be self-conscious about it. It doesn't look like 80s or 90s kind of frosty lips. Okay, let's also try out the Coconut Cream Pie one. This one I think I'm really gonna like. I don't think this one has the shimmer in it. Curious if this one has the minty kind of plumping sensation that the lip plump had, the apple one. There's that one. Okay, I think this is my favorite so far. Very pretty. I'm gonna put this one off to the side. We may put that back on once I get done swatching them all. Actually, let me swatch that one. Also on the back of my hand, you can see how they look side by side. There it is right there. So hopefully you guys can see that. It's kind of more of a, like a brownie nude. It doesn't have the kind of pink apricot sort of shimmer that this one has. Let's wipe that off and then let's try out this Sugar Cookie lip oil. Okay, so this is basically a clear, has some glitter particles in it. Honestly, this applicator is weird. Let's see how it is on the lips. It was difficult to swatch on the back of my hand. It smells good. It's definitely minty. It definitely has that kind of minty, buxom, kind of plumping effect. It's pretty. I like it on the lips. The applicator is a little strange. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of this applicator. It seems like a thick product to put in an applicator like this. I would say of the three, if I had to buy one of these separately, I would definitely go for the Coconut Cream Pie Original Maracuja Juicy Lip. This one, color-wise, scent-wise, I like this one the most. It doesn't have the minty sensation, but it smells very nice and sweet. The color is perfect. This Sugar Cookie one that I have on my lips right now, they definitely have a pretty strong minty plumping sensation. So if you don't like that sort of thing, maybe steer clear of the ones that say plumping on them. Before we finish off, I just want to add just a little bit. I'm going to keep this Sugar Cookie one on that I have and just add a little bit of this is just the Buxom lip liner in Dolly. Got a little bit more color and shape to my lips. All right, and there we have it. This is the completed makeup look. So let's quickly go through everything. I'll kind of give you guys the highlights, if there's any lowlights or things I'm not certain about. I think it was pretty successful across the board so far, but probably the things that I'm the most excited about. The foundation, this looks amazing on my skin. It looks so pretty. I do feel like I need a little bit more time with this one. I want to make sure that it wears well throughout the day, see what it looks like at the end of the day. Is it going to break apart on me? Is the shade going to oxidize at all? I will keep you posted on that. Keep an eye out in the description box. I'll give you guys a quick update down below, and I'll be back in an upcoming video to give some more detailed thoughts on this one. But so far, I'm loving it. The finish, the coverage, the shade, great. Very excited about the eyeshadow palette. This thing is a beauty. I love how these formulas went on. The shimmers are very glittery. Just be aware of that. If you don't like your shimmers have too much sparkle in them, these all have sparkle in them, but I think they look beautiful on the eyes. The blushes are stunning. This blush looks so pretty. I'm so tempted to keep all of these, but I do this every time. I buy these blushes to give as gifts, and I end up keeping them all because I am selfish, I guess. That's all I can say. I don't need them. I need to gift one of these. I'm going to force myself to at least gift one. Great formula though. If you like a blush that has just the tiniest bit of sheen in it, but I would say is more, it looks almost more like a matte on your skin. It's not overly sparkly at all. It doesn't emphasize any texture. I really like the lip products I tried out so far. Really nice and minty. And the bronzer stick. I'm pretty happy with this thing. I think it looks very pretty. I will keep playing with this one. It's definitely a different formula than my Merit, my Persona, some of the other ones that are a little bit more buttery, a little bit more luminous and tacky. This one has a different feel to it, so I will keep playing with it, and I'll be back in a video to update you guys. Again, I'll come back and we'll try out this blush palette from Sephora collection together. But that is gonna do it for now. Let me know what you guys picked up during the sale if you happen to get anything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Thank you for watching. I hope that you guys are doing well. Let me give you one final reminder. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that before you leave, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Oops. Oopsie daisy.